So the problem with ADN is the fact that it is a micro float. It's got 2 million float. It's got 2 million float. It's got 10 like almost 10% institutional ownership, which means that 220,000 shares of this 2 million float is owned by institutional ownership. There's no short float, so uh I'm assuming they're long or investors or whatever. There's 16% institutional ownership, and it's got a 50-50 on whether the stock closes green or red.
Hmm.
The other thing is it does have negative months worth of cash. So when I say um, red to green, right? So if you go to the daily, like, oh, that's really, really shitty. ADN. ADN. So if you go to this daily, so what that's saying is if the stock, do you know how to read candlesticks yet?
I kind of a little, yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be another good lesson. So what this means is on this stock, right? This thing
Hmm.
rips up from say 250 to 450. And
Hmm.
then all of a sudden the next day it gaps up, which is exactly what it's doing. Or wait, no, that's a different stock. Well, then it gaps up. That means that it here at closed at six 668 and then it opened at 754. Well then
Okay.
it's going it that means like on the open at 9:30 a.m. it's up here. It pushes and then tanks. And then it
Hmm.
closes below the open. So any red candle, the top of the body, do you understand body?
Yeah, yeah, I understand.
Okay, so the body of the candle, that's the open. If it's red, it means it closes down here. So on those stats that I just was talking about, that means that it's had four different gaps, and out of those four gaps, two of them have closed red. Two of them closed green. You don't want this thing to gap up, open, dip, and then just rip because that means it closes green. Like the other stock that I traded here in a second, I'll go over that. But it
Hmm.
it was not ideal for me to be trading the stock, so I went in with small size, and the idea was this thing was gapping up, but I wanted it to do this move at the open because I like trading. I feel comfortable trading at whole or half dollar numbers. So I wanted this thing
Okay.
to pop up to $4.50. But right before the open, like literally like 6 minutes before the open, it did the move that I wanted it to do. It went from $4.10 to $4 and like 48 cents,
Hmm.
opens, pops over 450, stuffs underneath. Well, I'm not going to take a trade. I don't feel comfortable taking trade at 420 because
Yeah.
what would I be risking? I'd be risking 455. For me,
Hmm.
in the size I like to use, that's too much of a risk. Even if I do go back in size and I start trading with, like 600 or 400 or whatever,
Yeah, still.
that's too much. It's too much risk. Like for me, I want to have the as small of risk as possible, especially for something that has got 2 million share float because I'm gonna be going in with small size anyways, um, or smaller size anyways. But then this
Hmm.
thing just literally just tanks all day. It doesn't even give you a chance to get in. And I was over eager and I already
Hmm.
bought locate fees. I spent, some money on locate, so I literally just lost that money right out the gate. Well, then there wasn't anything that was worth trading. And then I saw CGC pop up, and this thing starts to pop up here, and then this happened. This long little wick thing. And I was just like, okay, that with much higher volume, you know, like that's what I'm looking for. I want to see this right here, this
Mm-hmm.
big buy up candle with all this volume, that attracts people. That
Yeah.
gets people to be like, oh, okay, I want to buy this. This is worth buying. Somebody feels like this is worth a stock worth buying. So for me, I do the exact opposite. I look for a place to short.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you go to the 1 minute CGC. I traded right there, right after the
Mm-hmm.
long wick starts coming up. You start seeing some wicks up on the top, volumes way down. I took a trade, risking the high up here, and I covered everything right here at my second
Mm-hmm.
target. That should have been my day, but then I had what was it, SPPL? Yeah, SPPL got brought to my attention. This thing halted up. So what that means when a stock halts, it means that it was so volatile
Mm-hmm.
that they stopped trading on this for 5 minutes, and they'll pause trading for 5 minutes, and it'll because I believe the SPPL had a micro float, so yeah, it's 5 million float,
Mm-hmm.
70% insider ownership. Um, doesn't really have any capital, but it has no gap stats
Mm-hmm.
at all, nothing. And like even today is not really considered a gap because it didn't gap. It just started going crazy. This thing is up from
Mm-hmm.
30 cents. Like at the open, it's up from 30 cents. What is the news on this thing anyways? Where do I see the news? I don't even think I have the freaking filings, financials. Da. Huh. I don't know where the hell the news is. Yahoo Finance. Uh, SPPL. So the news is um, fuck's the news at? Recent news. Launches cutting edge robots and software in Australia. Okay, so new contract, new
Mm-hmm.
partnership. Okay, so BS news basically. But I mean, this thing freaking ran up from nothing, a low of 27,
Yeah, from nothing to like,
like literally nothing. And so for me, I didn't even
yeah.
watch this thing until the second halt because it
Uh-huh.
halted over here at 80 cents. And I don't, nothing under a dollar even gets brought up onto my screen. But after
Uh-huh.
this happened, so what I like to do, okay, so this thing halted, right? So I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
for something in this area. And so that's exactly where I started trading. Was right in here, but then this thing rips up, pop tick covers me. But the crazy thing is, the thing that you can't see on this is that this thing in 1 minute went from here to like it opened.
Uh-huh.
How did it go? I think it opened, it went down, and it ripped all the way back up, and then closed all the way back down here, all in like
That's crazy.
15 seconds. But I mean, you have
Yeah,
to
that's
think about it,
insane.
right? There's five
Wow.
million shares, and it opens at $1.22. So
Mm-hmm.
all it takes is $5 million to move this entire stock, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why they will halt it, because if there's too much volume, like over here where it halted,
Mm-hmm.
on this bar, it's trading almost 2 million volume. Well, the problem with that is, what if there isn't enough shares? What if there's so much demand for this thing that they don't know if people are buying, like too many people own, like say you and I own the same share. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, what the hell,
Yeah.
what, how much of this is actually like legit? Plus, there's short sellers, and they halt it, and so it gets halted. It opens. It's drawn to my attention. I take a short here, gets
Mm-hmm.
stopped out. It bounces back up. I take a short here, and then it just didn't work. I was hoping for more of a fade, but honestly, like at the end of the day, I was trading the money, and I should not
Yeah.
have been trading right here. And really, I should have just covered everything down here. But I ended up with a small loss on this. But the beautiful thing is, this thing is trading way
Mm-hmm.
the hell up here now. And so it's like, okay, sweet. This thing's gonna hopefully open tomorrow. And this might have a very, very, very good trade tomorrow. You look on the daily, it's got a gap to fill now. Oh wait, that's CG.
Now it has a gap. Yeah. Now it's different. Yeah.
No, that's the wrong stock. Why? Oh shit, that's why, because I changed that over there. SPL. Oh, SPPL.
PPL. Mm-hmm.
Look at that shit. What a crazy stock, just
That's
straight
insane.
up.
That's insane. That's
But
wow.
that's
That's
also why
wild. Yeah.
that's also why it's good to have rules, because it's like, hey, dude,
Mm-hmm.
I like I said, I should not have been in here. My rule is to cover here, but I didn't like that because I was only like 6 cents in the money. But it
Uh-huh.
doesn't matter, because rules are rules for a reason. Rules are rules because this can happen. Look at how much volume is
That's
trading on
crazy.
on this stock, because it's after hours. This is how, like, after hours
Uh-huh.
and pre-market is very sketchy, because it doesn't take a lot of volume to move a stock.
To move.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, since you know that, it you can get yourself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So, and
And that's what happened. Yeah.
so, I had a small green day, but after like locates and commissions and stuff, it's probably a break even day, which kind
Mm-hmm.
of sucks, but you know, it is what it is. And I think the biggest key takeaway for today is, I don't know, I need to just trade the process. And so that's what I'm gonna be doing. I want to be doing these things every single day. So I know that you didn't have to work today, but I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna start putting these out on the thing. So uh you can go back and rewatch it. Another like a hack is, you can watch this stuff on like 2 times speed. So if this
Oh no, and that's what I
video,
do every day. Like I go to
yeah,
school, I put the newest posts every day, and I check the latest thing that is always
yeah,
posting. I finish everything watching, and then I start doing my trading. On that trader.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Well, that's good, dude. But yeah.
All
Like I
right.
said, just I'll be posting these every day, and thank you for showing up. And yeah, you
No,
got
thanks to
got
you,
any
bro.
more questions?
I'm gonna have a lot when when I start using Thinkorswim.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
told you
Yeah.
when I
Well,
wanted to set it up.
when you need help with that, I do have videos in there on how to
I was,
sink or
yeah.
swim, and
Before
so
I ask
it
you
should
anything,
walk
I'm
you through
gonna
that.
watch
Um,
that. Yeah.
but like I said, if there's anything that you don't understand or anything that you have questions about, let me know, and that way I can make another video, and it's going to help out future students. So. Like I said, dude, I really appreciate you showing up and putting the work in and stuff. And it's obviously it's working, because your training's getting a hell
Oh
of a lot better,
man,
man.
it's insane. It's been Well, it's been 2 weeks since I
Yeah,
started like really good, really like studying for real,
yeah,
and I see the progress. Like I see the progress. Like everything that takes is just effort, man. Just like, and I work like for 12, 14 hours a day, but
yeah.
I try to make the
Trust me,
time, man.
I understand. Well, thanks to your idea about my my work and everything, I'm gonna do like instead of just like morning routine, I'm gonna do my whole day routine. I'm gonna be like,
Yeah,
hey,
that's great,
hey,
man.
right
Just
now,
seem
dude, like
just
it's 7 o'clock. I've been working for 12 hours.
uh-huh.
I've been working for 13 hours because I have another guy that he's an Australian trader and he
Okay.
trades the Asian Open and futures, and so I work on his I answer his messages and we work on futures and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like that's like the first thing I do in the morning. So
Oh, that's great. That's great,
yeah.
man. That's
So,
great.
but anyways, man,
All
you have a
right.
good one. And if you have any questions, like I said, just shoot me a message.
I will, man. I will. Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
Really.
no problem, man. Have a good
You
one.
have a good night. Thank
You
you, man.
too, man. Later.